Last fall was kind of the last straw for something we've been thinking about for a while. We dried every bushel of corn we brought home last fall. Lowest percentage we only got down to 22%. So the dryer here, we're running on a good day 800 bushels an hour we're drying. I'm bringing 4,000 bushels an hour out of the field. So we got to get a little more efficient. Even the field right here behind me at the shop, 250 acres. Trucks don't even have to go on the road to bring corn to the bins here. It took us almost a week to do that, doing 40 acres a day, because that's all we could dry before we were all full up with the dryer and the wet bins. So we have a big project coming. Some of these older bins behind me here, they are just about empty. You can see there's nothing up top to fill them. That's because one downspout and all the overheads to fill these bins are back here. We had a crane in here a couple weeks ago come and take these down, so now they're temporarily sitting here in the field. We might use some of this on the new project, but at ground level. So what do? These overheads came down. So leg, one pipe down to bin 4, and then bin 4 had an overhead to 5, and then it could jump an overhead to 6. And then 4 had a valve, so it could come up to 13, and 13 to 7 to fill 7. So you see 7, 13, 4, 5, 6, overheads are all gone. So here's the big plan. Things are already in motion, ordered, final kind of designs all laid out. Here's what's going to happen. So 13, 5, 4 kind of in between there, and 6, they're done. They're going away. 3 of them are empty right now. 5's got maybe 2 loads of corn left in it. As soon as we get that one done, those 4 bins are going to go away. So what's going to happen after that? So bin 7, that's our biggest bin right now at 32,000 bushels. 1 and 2, the newer tall ones in the back. The leg, the old top dryer, and there's a 3,500 bushel wet bin behind it. Those are staying. So that part of the old system is staying, with these 4 bins in the foreground here going away. Now our current dump where we dump the trucks is on the other side. It's been there forever, just beyond the leg there. So what's going to happen? These bins are gone. There's going to be a new dump, like a drag conveyor here on the driveway here on this side. So we're going to be going from the north side to the south side. Even though that dump's going to stay, we can still use it. So kind of there-ish where 13 is standing, we're going to have a flat bottom 11,000 bushel wet bin with a power sweep in the bottom of it. Dump right here. Leg's going to be about here. So that leg's about 65 foot, I think. The new leg is going to be 90 feet, so taller. So 7 will no longer need an overhead. It's just going to have a pipe gravity fill. So gravity fill to 7. New, almost 3 times bigger wet bin. Yeah, actually a little more than 3 times bigger wet bin. 3,500 bushel stays, but we're putting in 11,000. Leg back here, kind of where 4 is going to disappear, right next to the old dryer. You can see all the vents on the roof there. Another top dry. That one's 27 foot. I forget how many rings at the moment. 8 rings, something like that. Anyway, doesn't matter. The old top dry is going to stay. We thought it wasn't worth by the time we tore it down and sold it. It's 20 years old, so it might not be worth much by the time you rip it down. So it's still an 11,000 bushel storage bin when we're all done. Next to it, a new 36 foot 12 ring top dry. It will hold 31,000 bushels and is supposed to dry 1,200 bushels an hour at 10 points. So from 25% down to 15%, 1,200 bushels an hour, way faster than what we got now. Plus we're going to have a ton more wet bin holding capacity, and the dryer holds a lot more. So should be able to get a lot more done in a day. So what about the 4 bins going away? So that's going to cost us about 40,000 bushels in storage. Now we're going to add 31 with the new dryer, but let's not count that, or the 11 with the wet bin. So leg going to be here, and then right here, and then jump over right next to it 2 identical 42 foot 9 ring 41,000 bushel bins that will also be gravity fed from the leg, as will the wet bin and the dryer. So the only overhead augers we're going to have left are the 2 on the bins we built in 2017 that are still up back there. Everything else is going to be gravity down, so no more motors and augers to deal with. So you think we're losing 40,000. Ignore you actually do have storage in the dryer and the wet bin. losing 40,000 here, building a 40,000 bushel bin, building another 41,000 bushel bin. So we're gaining just over 40,000 there. And then if you count the dryer, we're gaining about 72,000 bushels. In a normal average year, we take 50 to 60,000 bushels to town during harvest. So when this is all done, hopefully it is all done by this fall, we'll be able to store all of our corn on the farm if we want to. Now we still run some to town because there's an elevator just over this way. We go by all the time, a small elevator. Sometimes it's convenient to just, take a truck or two there to speed things along. So we're going to be able to dump a lot faster. I think we're going to be able to dump trucks at least twice as fast. We'll see how it goes. Going to be able to dry a lot faster. Plus our wet holding capacity is going to be a lot bigger. That's going to make us more efficient. But there's other ways beyond harvest this is going to make us efficient. So right now, the dryer, bin 4, bin 1, bin 2, and the wet bin, they all reclaim back to the current leg here. So, and then we load trucks right here. But as you can see, we got the auger here set up on bin 5. We also move it around to unload bin 6. And let's get over here. See, there's the burner for the current dryer. The new dryer, there's gonna have 2 burners. It's gonna be kind of facing right this way. So then we got this kind of little hydraulic hopper here. From bin 5, we shift this over to get 13. It comes way out of the back and do this. And then, see, this is kind of a tight spot. We've been wallering around with the tires. The tractor has to back in here to get hooked up to the PTO, and you got to raise the bucket all the way up because that's the only way you can make the tractor small enough to squeeze in here. Every time we're switching bins, we're jimmying the tractor around. We got to get the tractor out, do all that. And all these bins, let's climb in bin 6 for this. All these old bins that are coming down, we're in bin 6 now. This is down laying on its side. But when we get down to where you don't have gravity flow in the sump anymore, you got to run a sweep auger. So these bins, you put the sweep auger on a peg there over the center sump, plug it in, run it, and then you got to push it around with your foot as it's going through the corn, and then shovel and sweep up behind it. So the new dryer, just like this dryer, the new wet bin will have this too. And both of these 2 newer bins we built a few years ago, they all have what's called power sweeps in them. So a power sweep is just a gearbox driven auger run off the auger that's unloading the bin. So you throw this clutch in and you engage the gearbox inside, and the power sweep turns itself, no electrical cords you got to run in there, and it pushes itself into the pile and all the way around, and you don't have very much to sweep up when you're done. So the advantage of the power sweep is, and everything's going back to the leg. Everything's going to a leg now, so we don't need the auger, we don't need the tractor, we don't need electrical cords for the foot-powered sweeps. So it's easier, and when you don't have to get in the bin, really, you can let it go all the way around once and then clean up behind it. So one person can fill a truck. You don't really need, like we do now, both of us in the bin for a while, somebody climbs out, moves the truck, all that. It's just a lot better, it's quieter, it's safer, it's faster. It's going to be really nice for the whole rest of the year beyond harvest. And another thing, when we're unloading 5, 6, and 13, you can see the augers across the driveway here. Well, but right here's our loadout. So we got to put trucks in here. Well, while we're loading these bins, we got to get the trucks out of the tool shed, and then you got to back them up a couple, 2, 3 times and get them centered under the unload spout. We have a driveway that goes all the way around the bins, so you can just slide around and pull right in. But anytime we're unloading those 3 bins over there, it's blocked off. Also, same thing on bin 7. Auger goes here, you got tractor out here to power it. Auger goes this way, kind of out over the lane there, and blocks the other side of the driveway that goes behind the bins. So whenever we're unloading 5, 6, 7, or 13, the driveway is blocked in one form or another, and we can't get to these 2 bins, bin 4 and the dryer, without backing under the unload, which is kind of annoying. So we're not sure we're going to do this yet, but here's the west side of bin 7. So if we walk around, we're on the south side now. See, there's where the overheads are setting down. We come over here. So you have like the new leg over here. We did get a price for this, pull the floor and the unload system out of 7, have it unload on this side and go to the new leg, and also have a power sweep in this bigger 42-foot bin, which would be great because there's like 7 loads of regular non-power sweep to do when this runs out of gravity flow. So that way every bin could go to a leg, no more auger and tractor needed, power sweeps for everything. It'd be awesome. And go upstairs here, I can give you maybe a better view of what's going and what's coming. So you see those 4 bins in the center there. That's 4, 5, 6, and 13. Those are what's going away. You have dump on the driveway, leg somewhere here, new wet bin here, new dryer right here next to this dryer, new dryer in this area, and the 2 41,000 bushel bins over there. So this is a big project. I'm excited about it. A lot of money involved, a lot of logistics to figure out. It's not only going to make us more efficient at harvest, it's going to make us efficient every other month of the year when we're hauling out of this system.